Hello, collective. This reading is for those of you who want to know the truth behind their silence, why this person is not communicating, why they are silent. And I'm picking up on an energy. The two of you may even be mirroring and shutting one another out at this time. But Four of Cups is a card of emotional unavailability, someone being very cold, shut down. This person could have shut down recently because there was a confrontation or an argument. I'm getting that this is probably mutual, that the two of you decided to leave, walk away. This person could be coming off as very unbothered, but I'm getting that they're really emotionally guarded or blocked, probably busying themselves with other things, trying to focus on other things. They may not feel a really strong emotional connection at all right now. So you may actually heavily be picking up on the fact that this, and it could become, be coming from exhaustion, depletion, a long journey. Yeah, it's like they're resisting really even being in a connection right now. So you have a very emotionally unavailable person coming through. And this actually, I think this person, you could have had a falling out or argument in regards to things were taking a long time. This person was keeping you waiting. So there could have been, with the Five of Swords, a falling out. I'm getting a lot of people are involved here as well. So there could have been a lot of people or interference involved, but it was keeping things from progressing. And you may have even become confrontational or agitated. Maybe this person did, but you definitely had a falling out, and this person is completely emotionally shutting down at this time. So they may, this is definitely somebody that I'm getting that both of you need to stand your ground and your boundaries at this time when it comes to self-growth, nourishment, soul searching, being focused on yourself. This is a call to not put a lot of your energy into this person. But it's like maybe this person needs time to nourish themselves as well. It's like instead of feeling agitating, there's this intense needing to push the connection forward. There's this need to set the boundary that, hey, somebody is just not ready. And I think this is an opportunity for you to do that soul searching as well. It's like, do you really want to be with somebody that's not ready? Do you really want to be with somebody that's emotionally unavailable to you? And this will give you the perspective you need to move forward and do what's in your own best interest and not try to fight or struggle with this person. Allow the silence to be. They don't want the connection. You guys are on different pages about it. Both of you are feeling defensive and standing your grounds in regards to your standards or your boundaries at this time. So this is actually a good time to remain silent, to not really push the issue, especially if there's already been some conflict that's played out, which I'm sensing that has already happened. Five of Swords and the Seven of Wands are both cards of two people feeling very defensive, argumentative, not being on the same page, things not being mutual, right? Some, feeling really emotionally shut out or blocked. So, silence can be golden, giving somebody space, moving on with your life, not trying to force the issue is probably your best course of action right now. But what could be blocking communication other than the fact that someone's not interested in any more arguments or compromise? The fear blocking this is Maiden of Cups. Yeah, the emotions, the emotional triggers. Could be that you or this person got really emotionally reactive and it triggered some anger and defensiveness. That they don't like the emotions that this stirs up. They may not like your emotional availability. For somebody that's emotionally unavailable, emotional intensity can be really triggering to somebody like this because they're not in that available space to deal with strong emotions. It could have been some, naive lashing out here. And with the music, the piano playing, it could have just come off as very strong. And that's okay. If you have strong emotions and somebody else doesn't, it's good to know that now than later, right? That helps you to protect your own boundaries. You don't want to pursue somebody that's emotionally avoidant or unavailable. You don't want to be vulnerable. So there was definitely some vulnerability that was expressed, especially maybe even during an argument. I've been getting some really intense, emotionally reactive energy with this Mercury retrograde. So maybe this is happening in the collective. A lot of people may be experiencing these big falling outs. One person gets really emotionally intense and triggered, and then the other person starts shutting down. But what is this outside? Because I do think there's some outside pressures as well. What could be influencing this from the outside? Someone's just not able to deal with this, right? They're like, I can't handle the fighting, the emotions. They're shutting it down. They're setting a boundary with it. The Lady of Coins is, someone maybe even focusing on nourishing themselves, their career, focusing on their finances even. And I think that's good advice for you as well. It's like maybe both of you need this space to focus on your own things, your own life, and not get so triggered by one another. But the outside influence here is, something's ending with the Death card. Someone's going through a major transformation. There could be major endings going on within a family dynamic, losses, and then, Six of Coins. Someone could be owing money or still financially obligated to someone else that they're ending something with. Also, there could be a lot of pressure to give, when you're in a relationship or even the beginnings of a relationship, there is this need for reciprocity, and someone was not ready for that. Someone could still be going through, feeling really obligated to other people. That's the outside influence, is somebody still going through the process of giving to someone else. Let's say they're getting out of a relationship and there's scores to be settled. Something's not completely over. Or they're very occupied with this, so they're really emotionally shut off to any sort of outside drama. Could be that you may have had some drama with this person about whether or not they were going to show up or be available or be able to give to this connection. And you may have found out that they're still heavily involved or distracted elsewhere. But there's definitely a fear of triggering or stirring up emotions. They probably don't want any more emotional reactivity out of you at this time. What do they secretly want overall, except to space? I'm definitely getting that this person needs some space, but what do they secretly hope to happen, here, or whatever they're wanting to play out? Well, the Moon, they're definitely keeping this secret. I think maybe they kind of secretly hope that there will still be some emotions here. But yeah, I think they kind of, I know this is going to sound awful, but they might secretly want you feeling rejected. And what I mean here is that this person could be a little vengeful in a way. It's like they want you to feel their the loss of them. They want you to feel like you've lost something, even though this person really wasn't in a position to give you anything. And that may actually trigger you. Fears, rejection, loss. And sometimes emotionally unavailable people, they will reject you before you can reject them. It's like they want you, you know, I'm definitely getting that they like that they created some emotional intensity here through the process of having the upper hand and not having feelings. It's like, haven't you heard that concept of the person with the less feelings or emotional investment, they win, they get the upper hand because they're not as emotionally invested. So there's kind of some prideful arrogance with that. Also, I think this person definitely, like in the deep recesses of their brain, maybe does feel a loss and rejection from your end of things too. Especially if you guys had a major falling out. But they're definitely giving, in the process of ending and settling finances or giving to something else here. And that's why they're emotionally unavailable. Well, what's the energy between you now? Yeah, waiting. They could be in a period of just suspended, you know, withholding communication, being very strategic. Those cards just wanted to fall out. But they may want to keep you in suspense or waiting. Some people like that because, like I said, it gives them a feeling of being able to work through all their issues and still have you in a state of suspense. What else is the energy between you now? What else is, yeah, the Star. So there is surrender and release. I think this is an opportunity for you to surrender and release and look at the bigger picture. Maybe both of you are in that energy somewhat. And, you know, as far as the next likely movement, I mean, I'm seeing you need to just give this person space. And you need to take your space and work on yourself and, you know, have solid boundaries and standards for yourself. Not let this person's weird triggering of you affect you. Like, yeah, heal, surrender, and look at the bigger picture. Because the likely outcome here is, yeah, something shifting. Wheel of Fortune, something could shift in your favor. You may even, you know, bring in new opportunities by shifting your focus and attention away from this person. Yeah, Six of Wands, victory. Someone wants attention. You know, sometimes emotionally unavailable people, they like feeding off the attention of somebody pursuing them or getting reactive to them. They may not do this consciously, but maybe that gives them, you know, this upper hand. This person's acting really unbothered and cold, and Yeah, conflicted. I think the conflict came from this hot and cold, indecisive behavior, and a confession. Yeah, the fight could have been confessions. Hey, this is hot and cold. Someone needs to come clean. So it could be that they finally are giving you some sort of clarity about where you stand. So that's a good thing too. It's like, okay, well, you need space. You don't want this. Sometimes people have to be really upfront and honest about that. And that's good because it sets you free. You know, and this could be very painful. Rejection is painful. It makes you very afraid, apprehensive, and cautious. You don't want to get hurt, right? You don't want this person to have that much power over you. And we have shallow. Someone has very shallow, hollow feelings. Maybe you're going to realize that you would have gotten really bored with somebody that's... Four of Cups is not fun. Right? It's very shallow. It's very empty. It's blah. You know, over time, you're going to get bored with really shallow emotions and effort from somebody. If you're really honest with yourself, you don't want hot and cold. You don't want... It's better to be rejected now than strung along or try to keep seeking answers. Right? Yeah, they left you. And it became a cycle of being very cold. And all of these cards wanted to come out again. This is your breaking point, to focus on and nourish yourself, to not keep feeding into something that's not going to go anywhere. So I'm just going to close this reading out here. Please like, share, and subscribe. And yeah, just put all that energy back into yourself. They don't want it. They're given to other things. There's no reason to have any suspense about this or to constantly have somebody resisting you or pushing you away. You need to take care of yourself. Put that energy back into yourself. So bye.